Well, here we are with a video I've been meaning to do for quite some time, and this is all about 1963. And as you can see, I've chosen some appropriate weather. The snow's falling all around, and this is an area which very rarely sees snow of any sort, and we've had about an inch so far this morning. So what about 1963? That's known to a lot of people who went through it as the big storm. I was all of 5 years old, but I have some very formative memories of that period. And the first thing I remember was going to bed the night before, and it was a school day, so I'd got in and done all the usual things, and my mum made sure I was wrapped up extra warm because our house didn't have central heating. And I went to bed wearing a vest, pyjamas and my dressing gown, and there was also an extra cover put on the bed which I pulled up over my head because it was damn cold. And when I woke up in the morning, the first thing that hit me is how bright it was, and the reason for that is they'd let me sleep in. Being a school morning, it was about 9 o'clock when I woke up. Normally I'd have been up by about 7 and it would be substantially darker. And so I rolled over in bed, and there was a nasty crackling sound, and that was actually the ice on top of the extra cover snapping because it was so cold. My breath had frozen onto it, and according to my father, who had an outdoor thermometer, it was -14 that morning. And overnight 4 feet of snow had fallen. Now, to get an idea of why the next bit happened, you have to realise where we lived. Where we lived was in a 3-storey building, and the bottom storey was all garage. It was my father's employer's garage, which he used to keep his Bentley in, and also large garden tools and things of that nature, skis and all sorts of things were in there. Very big garage, and we had like a 2-bedroom house built onto the top of it. And imagine our surprise when we couldn't get out, because we also lived opposite a lake, and it's quite a large lake, so practically all of the snow that had fallen onto the lake drifted into the wind and blew against the side of our house. So here we are, we're on the effectively a second floor, and we couldn't get out because the snow was up over the top of the windows, up over the top of the door. So you're talking about something like a 20-foot drift, simply because of all the snow had been swept off this lake. So what happens next is my father climbs out of the window, carrying a shovel which he's brought up from the garage downstairs, and disappears into the snow, which caused me a little bit of worry because I was only 5 at the time. However, about 3 hours later he appeared, having dug a tunnel through to our front door, which promptly collapsed as soon as he opened the front door, and he had to dig his way out again. So later that night I had a bath, and my mother had to use the kettle because the hot water system wasn't working properly. And I was sitting in the bath, and I was watching icicles actually forming on the ridge that ran along the top of the bathroom window, and that was quite fascinating for me as well. So the next thing that happened is the electricity went out, and we were very lucky. And the reason we were lucky is that my father's employer had a big generator, big backup generator for the main house, and he'd connected it into the garage and our house. So we didn't run out of electricity. Our neighbours were not so lucky. And 2 of our neighbours, an elderly couple, they actually froze to death. They actually completely froze. Their bodies apparently were so rigid that it took the police and the ambulance crew an awful long time to get them out of the house. And it was very sad. Some of my friends actually got evacuated because we were in a rural area, and they actually, I joked with them about it at the time. They actually spent nearly 4 days in the school because the school was heated. It was quite a bad time, and but I have some fun memories of this bad time. Although it was cold, it was snowing, we had fun in the snow. But, and here's the salutary thing, we're expecting somewhere between 1 and 10 metres of snow to form in 2024. So, bearing in mind the size of the drift we had against the house with 4 feet, which is just over a metre, you're looking at drifts which may be as much as 100 feet deep against buildings. And that is no joke. And this is why I was saying in one of my earlier videos, buildings can possibly collapse due to the weight of snow. And don't forget, the snow won't be all around the building. It'll be on the side of the building facing the prevailing wind, and therefore the loads are unbalanced, and therefore buildings could fail. And what do you do with 100 feet of snow? We have a very nice big park which we could fill with a 200-foot high mound of snow with no problems, but most people don't live near such a thing. So that is my tale of 1963. There are many other tales I could tell you of 1963 which I did not personally experience, like the 2 trains that got stuck in a snowdrift. One train went out, got stuck. Another train, which was a recovery train specially fitted with snow clearing gear, came to rescue it, and that got stuck as well. And it was 3 weeks before they could dig those trains out of the snow. So I hope you found this video informative and useful and interesting and all those good things. And if you have, please like, share and subscribe. Bye.